my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with?
And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 1, episode number 21, and waiting in the green room is my friend John Vinsevich. But before we get to him, let me introduce my panel for tonight. Very similar to last night's panel, with one addition. Dan the Man Leathertan is back again for round 2. How you doing, Dan?
Doing well. How are you?
Outstanding. Of course, we have Mr. Sexy as always. How are you, Mr. Sexy, tonight?
Good evening, everybody. How's everyone tonight?
And our representative from Canada tonight, John Salatellis. How are you, sir?
What's up, folks?
Looking forward to a good show tonight. If you're not familiar with my buddy John, I met him at the Gettysburg show this past year, and he purchased several of my playset boxes. So he's going to talk a little bit about how they're holding up for him. But he's also going to give us a tour of his little man cave. I shouldn't say little. When you see it, it's going to be like our last man cave tour, which is going to be great. So I'm going to go around the room and say what is new in your zoo. John, why don't you start off for us tonight?
Yay. All right. So I got a couple of I placed an order a while back, about a month ago, I think, on eBay for a couple of Russian sets. One is by Publius, and they, I'm just going to bring this up now so they won't fall. So this is the wait, just fix it.
There you go. A little higher. Yep.
1944.
Man down.
Russian winter fatigues soldiers.
Nice.
See them here.
Those are from who?
Publius.
Publius, yeah. Okay.
130. I'd say 132. Close to 130, but probably 132. Actually closer to 130 because I'm actually looking at the other ones that I got, and you're going to realize when I show them that these are probably real 130. So very nice in the green, greenish color, green camel green. I wish I could show them one by one.
Yeah, it's kind of a dark brownish green kind of thing. Yeah, like a
well, it looks
like olive drab.
Olive drab here. Yeah. That's what it looks like. I'm sure it. The camera shows it a little bit, probably a little bit darker. But
so you gonna paint those or just leave them?
No, I don't paint those soldiers unless it's done for me by people who are super talented at painting, because I don't paint those soldiers. I just can't. I'll do the odd foam piece or something like that. And the other ones, the last ones are the ones I think we spoke about them last week. It's the new Triumph North Africa Germans, which are very big.
Oh wow!
Considerably, very very detailed, but quite large. And I'm going to make like a bit of a size comparison. Now they have. It's what we were talking. Was it last week or the week before about the huge bases?
Yeah.
And so is this really necessary? I mean, it's a nice pose. You got to use it for this is a nice flamethrower kneeling.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oops.
And you think they're even bigger than 130?
A little bit. So the nice one, like just look at this, like the camel, for example, right?
Yeah.
And it's got a base. So what I did is I took Toe Soldier San Diego.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys know the riders, the riding Germans.
Yep.
And put them on a camel, on another camel. I think it's Bergen.
Oh wow, yeah.
Bergen. So it's kind of like this. I'm going to try and put them next to each other without the base. So let's say it's a little higher. So it's not that bad. I mean,
no,
it's not the same type of camel. If you put this one on a base, like for example, something like this,
Yeah, it's probably about so.
It's okay. I mean, you could use them. Just you don't have to use them next to marks, for example, or whatever. But there's always somewhere to place. If if they're a little larger, a little bigger. If they're really really thick, it doesn't look right. I know, for example, BMC had done. If you guys know the Korean was it the Korean War figures?
Yeah, in the snow gear. Yeah,
yeah, and they're. I mean, in height they're fine, but in they're just so thick. It looks they look off. These they look like they're a little taller. The soldiers are taller. So depends how you place them, how you photograph them. I think it'll be fine. They're really really nice figures. And we'll see what else that company will come up with. I think they'll have like 3 or 4 sets. They're relatively new, so we'll see. But they were really nice North African. The German set, the Africa War. So that's it for this week.
Right on.
Not much else.
Dan, what you got for us, buddy? That's a vintage Star Trek.
I'm on a YouTube channel. What does this have to do with anything? Did a project 1/6 scale Star Trek. I have reduced it down to 1/10 scale.
Oh,
there we go.
These are all custom, castings painted by me.
Wow.
Nice.
Good. I will have the whole like typical stand up there, buddy. And then, of course, we have to have a captain.
So they're resin?
These are a lot of it's Art Asylum, but like the legs are recast. I made my own legs and such. And there's going to be my captain.
Huh.
Nice.
I got paint all of them. I was painting them earlier, but there they are. So, not 54 millimeter, 1/10 scale. So wait till I build the 1/10 scale bridge.
Ooh. If you drop that to 132 scale, it really fit in.
That'd be cool. I think somebody does do those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's seen the project. It's called Mr. Trek. He's building a 1/25th scale Enterprise. It's on YouTube, and you can find that. And he's got a bunch of figures like that are on that. I mean, 1/25th scales can be huge. So
yeah.
But that's what I got tonight.
All right. And finally, Mr. Bradshaw.
All right, I'm going to start big and work my way down. I know I've shown this before, but I'm glad I picked to show it again because of our guest. He might get a kick out of this. And this is 1/12 scale.
Wow.
Wow.
And of course, it's a Panzer IV off D. And this is made by Figma.
Figma.
Also known as Max Factory.
Motorized or not motorized? Is it?
It is motorized.
Oh, wow.
But the problem is it's got a switch. You can go forward and you can go backward. And then you have to chase it down to shut it off. Because there's no remote control. But it does work. And the hatch is open. It's designed to carry figures. Of course, this is from the Girls und Panzer cartoon. You can find previews of it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're schoolgirls, and they're drawn as anime, but the tanks they all use in this war game they play are all drawn like authentic and look like this.
Huh.
What I did with this came all together, fully assembled. It came in the German gray, and I'm not a purist. I just did a bunch of washes on it. I painted the details of like some of the equipment, and I did a lot of dry brushing on it. I also made my own insignia for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those are nice. Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
Yeah, it looks good weather like that.
Yeah, it looks good. And I debated putting a dull coat on it. And I was like, nah, I'm going to just leave it as is. I didn't want to mess it up. I like the way it came out. So the next thing I got, everybody know what one of these is?
Well, that was from G.I. Joe movie, isn't it?
This is actually from one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh,
They
really?
used this in one of the last movies, I guess. And this is a ripsaw. It's an EV3 F4, 800 horsepower. And these are actually have been in development for a while for the Army. And it's a super fast, attack vehicle.
Yeah.
They're built in Maine.
Are they?
Yep.
And I mean, these ones that have seats in them, and I bought this to go with these little Colonial Marines I had from Roblox. One of the things I looked up said these are remote control, like the real ones. But I've seen them on YouTube being demonstrated, and there's a driver in them. But it's a neat little thing for, photographs if you got the right scale figures. Pretty cool.
Very nice.
And the last thing I'll show, which is really off the wall, is everyone familiar with Franklin Mint John Wayne figures or
Nope.
statues? No?
Nope.
So this is John Wayne. Obviously, this is John T. Chance from Rio Bravo. And usually they did a whole bunch of them, and they come with a glass dome.
Yeah.
And I bought this with no dome. And what I did was, way back when I had my other apartment, I used to burn a lot of incense. Don't ask why. And I made this an incense burner. And here's one of the leftover.
Yeah, I see it. I see it right now.
Yeah. So I drilled a little hole, and I would let him sit on my coffee table and burn incense from me. And he's held in place by his ankle is busted, and there's only a tiny little bit of whatever material he is holding him in place. So I can't really mess around with him too much.
That's funny.
That's it. So it's a terrible likeness, but it's tiny.
It's a great movie.
Oh yeah, Rio Bravo, fantastic.
Rio Bravo. So
And
Paul B in the chats wants to know if he should lend you guys some 1/32 scale stuff so you can show it on the show.
Please send it.
I have stuff. I'm trying to not show it all one big lump.
I guess it's just me and you, John. Me and you, man.
We got plenty for everybody.
All right. Joe Baker's not here tonight, so I usually don't show anything, but real quick, I'm just going to show you guys I've been working on. I showed these behind the scenes. This is a CTS. We're trying to determine the paint scheme on this. I believe it's North Africa, but it only had two paint colors, just green and that mustard tan color. So, and John, what do you think about CTS? It's still a little bit smaller than 1/32, huh?
Which John you talking about to now, me or the other John?
Well, you're the only one on right now.
Oh, am I? I only see you. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, he's not here yet.
He's the guest.
This is they're not as big as if you compare it with the Rio 132, which is, for example, Forces of Valor. They're a little smaller, but they're definitely bigger than the Marks ones.
Especially the Sherman. I think this is smaller than. Now this paint scheme I think is Iwo Jima. I don't think this is North Africa.
No, I don't think so.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's about Iwo Jima as well.
Yeah, it looks
more of a Marine Corps. Then of course I got the Airfix. I didn't paint this one because it's that soft plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the.
That gun barrel looks a little sad.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is that Airfix? Is this not Airfix or is it? It's not BMC, is it? No.
No, this is Airfix.
It's just not happy yet. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. When the battle starts, it goes up.
You know how to fix that stuff, don't you?
Wait, I knew I was gonna get it.
No.
The Panthers in North Africa, they never used them. I knew somebody's gonna say that, man.
Yeah.
Well, they do in my playset. I know. I got the Tiger painted that way, and I got the half tracks painted that way.
But you know how to fix like the bent barrels and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Hot water, then cold water, and like that. Yeah.
There's also some BMC released a couple of. I don't know if they were custom painted Tigers. The big Tigers that they have, the gray ones. They have. I got a few, 3 of them, I believe, just all different paint schemes. I really don't know if they're custom or not, or they were made like just as a one-off or something like that. But when I jumped on them when I saw them, so I can bring those out if you guys want, but maybe next week.
See, now Joe Baker's watching, and he even said Panthers were in the Eastern Front. But why would they have that paint scheme then? They wouldn't have had that in the Eastern Front, right?
No, they had a few. There was a lot of camo in the Eastern Front as well.
I mean, this camo with the tan, not gray.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I have a 21st Century Panther that's camo pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Somebody saw it somewhere.
It said North Africa, or it says, they didn't have it in North Africa. Yeah.
It didn't say where it was, but it looks like that was a typical camo paint job.
Paint scheme. Yeah.
21st Century did their stuff fairly accurately.
Yeah.
I think.
So, well, hey, we got a lot of people in the chat room right now. I'm gonna say hi to them real quick before we bring out our special guest. Moondoggy, 2 nights in a row, man. He gets a silver star. Murray Corrigan. Murray, we decided last night after our show that you and Dan cannot be on the show together. It's one or the other, man. We can't have.
What the hell is a jib?
It's a little monkey.
That had us going for a while. Paul B's here. Hey, Michelle D's with us tonight. And Joe Baker. Joe Baker couldn't be with us tonight. He's doing a little babysitting. He's got his grandkids with him tonight. So
nice.
He said he was going to text in, but couldn't be on. Mark's with us tonight. Joe Trenchfoot, thank you for joining us. Ronald McDonald, as always.
I saw Patrick Grain as well somewhere.
Yeah, if you see somebody that I missed.
Barb, Mark.
Barb Flowers. Lone Wolf is here.
Adam LeMay.
Adam, thanks for joining us. Well, again, we got a new guest tonight, and he's not big on the YouTube, and he's not big on the internet. So he has his own camera person with him tonight. I don't know how much you're paying that camera person. Is she there? Is your daughter there? Hey, how much is he paying you for this?
Haven't decided yet.
It's an hourly rate. It's a very good hourly rate.
This is my buddy John. John, how you doing tonight, bud?
Very good. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be
happy
here.
to get you on. I know we talked a while back a couple of times, and you were one of my biggest purchasers of my playset boxes at the Gettysburg Toy Show. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Like I said, as soon as you released it, I was very interested. Like I said, I have 2 younger girls and a wife, and the boxes are going to be a perfect thing to put everything I have into one set and one thing. So in case there is an emergency or something ever happens to me, they have something to fall back on and not be scratching their heads and trying to figure out what it is and how to get rid of it. So
sure.
That
Keeps
was
everything nice and organized. That's why I bought mine. That's why I did it. So hey, man, let's go ahead and get started with the interview. And how long have you been collecting?
I've been collecting since I was a child. I was very blessed. My father's mother grew up right outside Harrisburg. So she didn't drive, so my father took her to Harrisburg for family vacation. And he was a huge Marine, huge gun collector, military stuff. So Gettysburg was right hop, skip, and jump from Harrisburg. So we spent a lot of time in Gettysburg as kids. So right away from the get-go, I got the bug early. My father started purchasing the Airfix from Tommy Gilbert's train station or train store right there in Gettysburg. So right from the get-go, I was bit with the bug. I started right with the 132nd and 172nd Airfix toy soldiers, and then I just was really into that. My mother and father both got me for Christmas one year the Apache Pass by Marks and the Guns Navarone set, which was amazing. And like I said, I just followed through with it from there. As I was growing up, I was buying more Mark stuff. But as you get older, you kind of grow out of the stuff. I got a little bit into Star Wars when Star Wars came out. You know, a huge Star Wars fan. I love the Star Wars action figures. Still had the love for Army men, but Star Wars took the front seat for the longest time. When I was a child, I had a paper route, and I really had to turn my money into buying stuff. I don't know if you're a Squadron mail order. You know, their big thing was a hobby store in every mailbox, and I remember ordering from Squadron the SE figures, like 172nd, 135th scale, Raval figures, Atlantic. So I was right going for the longest time, just collecting and buying, and you know, these things. As you get older, other things come in your life, like a wife, marriage, children. So it kind of takes a back seat for a while. So I had put it kind of put you on the back seat for a while. So
I heard
my
it.
wife saying about buying it. So I just kept gradually buying things. You know, both my girls were very active in sports. My oldest is a dancer, so we had a lot of dance competitions, a lot of dance shows. My youngest is a cheerleader, so a lot of cheer competitions, and cheer shows, and a lot of stuff. So that kept me tied up and grounded pretty steadily, you know, through work. Like I said, when I saw stuff that came out from the Barzos later on in life, I was just amazed and blown away about how much and how things developed. They were always out of my price range, you know. I could never really afford the Barzo sets. But when I was able to go in Toys R Us and find the original BMC sets when they first came out, you know, the Iwo Jima sets, the Alamo, the Yorktown, I grabbed that stuff right away and just put that away. And then as my girls got older, Conti came out with a lot of their stuff. So I jumped right in the Conti bandwagon. I get the Conti Civil War guys. The blue and gray were big things back then. I really liked those a lot. The Conti American paratroopers, the Conti British paratroopers, the Germans. So that was really next to my food chain going in. And now it's, you know, the girls are getting older, and I started going to toy soldier shows. A friend of mine at Gettysburg said, "Have you ever been to the Gettysburg Toy Soldier Show?" And I'm like, "No, I've never really been to a toy soldier show." And he goes, "Take my word for it. You'll go in there and it'll blow your doors off." He's a big Army plastic guy, so when I walked in there, I was just blown away, like, of all the cool things there. And I said I try to go every year now. It's amazing. I like it a lot.
Any other shows you get to, or just that one?
They had one here and where I live. It was a smaller show. It was not really comparable, but I still have one that's still in high school and cheerleading. So I might not make it to another toy soldier show out of state, but I can tell you where Cheer Nationals were this year, because they're after Gettysburg. I fly up in Orlando for a week of cheerleading. So
are you?
So yeah, as they get older, hopefully I can get a few more shows further away.
So is your scale 132nd pretty much now, or you still collect the other scales?
Yeah. I broke away from the 172nd scale. When you get older, like I said, my eyes aren't as strong as they used to be for 172nd scale. I mean, they're great stuff, and you have a great display. But I'm more to the 132nd scale, and I can see why my father pushed for the 132nd scale when he was older, because he made models, and right away he wanted to put the soldiers in with the models, and he's still making models. I don't know if you, like I said, we talked about Bill Malino. My father makes the models for Bill Malino, and we mail them to him all the time. And
I was just going to mention that Bill Malino, who was on our show before, Bill War Gaming World, and great guy, and he always pushes my channel. I try to push his as well. And your father makes a lot of models, I guess, and sends it to me. I swear every video he has, he's got a new model that your dad sent him. So
Yeah, he's pretty consistent about it. He likes to hear what he's going, what theater he's going into next, and try to figure out something to make for him. So.
And what about you? Are you a painter guy or non-painter guy? Plastics?
I have been a non-painter guy my entire life. I kind of like you said, I would buy figures of certain colors to match, go with them. I never really painted. Bill has been the one that's kind of talked me into painting the last few years because, he's a big painter guy. And, Jim Shaw does a lot of his painting. And so I kind of took a little seat at it. I tried to paint a few things. Some things I painted I'm pretty happy with. My wife will comment that they came up pretty good. My kids will say, "It's pretty good, Dad." And sometimes I'll paint something. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's like that might have been a hiccup right there. I have no idea.
Yeah, so. That's one thing I haven't tackled yet. I'll do scenery and stuff, but not. No. When I see stuff like James Viola paints, and then my stuff looks like a third grader did it, so
it's not worth it. Just drop it.
Nope. I'm not ready for that leap of faith yet. So. You guys got any questions before he starts doing a room tour? Rick, John, Dan?
No, I'm excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Anybody in the chat room, if you got questions, just go ahead and pull them up there, and I'll pull them in. But where would you like to start with the man cave tour, John?
Start right here in front of me. These are my latest additions that I got at Gettysburg this year.
Cameraman.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh, okay. He's good.
There we go. I end up getting Fairbanks, Dominion, George Washington.
You have to zoom in on those a little bit more, or hold them closer to the camera. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Barzo, or
Yep.
No, the LOD.
LOD. Yep.
LOD. And then before I went to Gettysburg, I got Hamilton, Lieutenant O'Bannon.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. I got that one.
It's a great figure, yeah. I was really excited to get that. I also got Long John Silver.
Oh, cool.
Got those in the last couple of weeks as well.
And then when I was at Gettysburg, I talked to the guy from Warhorse, and I got the Jesuit priest.
Oh, that's a nice
That's
one.
nice. Figure, yeah. We're going to have him on in December when he retires.
And I am getting the Crow Warrior, which I was really impressed with. That is a really nice figure.
He does some awesome work, man.
Wow.
I do not think I'll be trying to paint that. That's a pretty sharp figure, and I think I would put that to ruin. So right in front of me, I have a French farmhouse made from Josh Warla from Build Model page. Josh 3D Printing. You can see it's all 3D printed. The French farmhouse.
Wait, say that again. That whole thing is 3D printed, or just the farm?
Just all 3D Pro, except for the figures in the middle that you're off. But yeah, it's all 3D printed. The farmhouse has different tiers.
Wow.
I painted this.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
I'm not happy with my print job. But Josh 3D printed that whole thing for me. The barn.
Bryn, can you get a little closer on those things? There you go. Cool. Yeah, that's perfect, Bryn.
Yeah. And then Hobby Bunker had this building, which I really don't know if it's a chicken coop or what it really was. But I 3D printed too, and I painted that, and I figured it goes perfect with the farmhouse.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep.
Nice.
So it's really and so I kind of made a little setup here. I got some of the Warhorse 3D printed.
The wigwam. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And those are pretty hard. They're not too brittle, are they?
Those are solid. They're solid.
Yeah.
3D printed resin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. I'm pretty happy when they came out. This, of course, is the Barzo's Daniel Boone store. Was it Festus's?
Yeah, that's a foam piece though, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's foam. Yeah. I mean, that might be Daniel Boone's card. I think about it more. That is Daniel Boone's card. This is that is the store.
Wow.
Yep. I forgot. It has a little thing in front of the sign. So that's the Daniel Boone's card. Yes. That is my. I said also end up getting the DMC desert paint.
That's that tight.
That the best I can.
Yep.
BMC.
So that's a BMC.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
BMC one, yeah.
And John, we were
That's
talking. That's probably
to the
more to
side.
scale to 1/32, you think, than the CTS
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, that's why I like this BMC one. It's more scaled
Yeah.
to size. So I just kind of painted it up a little bit and put the stickers on it, and I'm kind of happy with the way it turned out. Yeah. You know, they had a standard Airfix.
Oh, there you go.
I kind of glued that together and did that quick paint job. I know it's missing pieces, but I was happy with it when I got it. And so that was also through.
Ronald McDonald wants to know: is that a Roman watchtower? That
No, that is from Etsy.
we're losing your sound a little bit, dude.
Can you hear me there?
A little bit better. Yep.
Yep, that is like the SG's Battlefield accessory set that comes in. It's like the tower, some wooden fencing, barrels.
Is that
stuff like that?
Is that SG or is it Italeri? I'm pretty.
Oh,
I
might be Italeri.
think I have a
You're
box
right,
inside, but because I was looking at it 2 days ago. I think it's Italeri, no?
It might be. Yeah, I think you're right. Yes. So I just have the BMC San Juan Hill set.
All right, hang on 1 second. I got to flip your camera, dude.
Yeah.
Got you on mirror. There we go.
Oh, that's so much better.
So you got Rough Riders.
There's the Rough Riders. You have to charge up the San Juan Hill set. That's the newer one. I had the original one on the other side, but that's the newer one. Then I got the Alamo, the North Wall, right there. I painted that myself.
Nice.
You ordered Stormtrooper?
That's Hobby Bunker. Is that
Stormtrooper at Disney World?
That's a TSSD, no?
Oh, is that TSSD or Hobby Bunker?
I think it's TSSD.
I think it's
This
Hobby
one?
Bunker.
Was that one piece or no? Then that's
one piece, yep.
TSSD. Yeah.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
Hobby Bunker made a North Wall with like 3 pieces or 4 pieces, something.
Nice.
So then I have like some of my Osprey books on here, the Osprey Combat series and my G.I. Joe guys.
That's a Monday show, bro. That's a Monday show.
I have my giant Union Soldier. I got it. Gettysburg from the Toy Soldier store.
Oh, you got that from John? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, John had somebody paint them a few of them.
What are they? Ceramic or something? Or?
It's
It's cement.
Like,
it's a made.
yeah,
made for an
solid.
outdoor lawn ornament kind of thing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, but when he bought it, he said, I don't know if you really want to put it outside because I don't know if the paint will hold up very well in the weather. So it's pretty solid. And then I only got the Union guy. So for years, I had the Union guy kind of by himself, just staring at the Star Wars guys going, this is crazy because I'm a Civil War guy. And then 2 years ago, I walked in the store and he had a Confederate guy right at the door. And I'm like, John, you know I want that. And he goes, yep. I had a feeling if you walked in, it was going to be going home with you. And I went home and I was very happy with it. As you can see, I have my 2 box sets all set up there. The Iwo Jima and the Alamo from you.
Hey, Rick, you got a 112 fan here, bro.
Oh, yeah. We need him on Monday night. Absolutely.
Hey, what are those boxes there, man? Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Those are my box sets. They're the Alamo set is more or less filled up already. So the North Wall is out because it's more or less packed to the gills. The Iwo Jima, I got distracted with, so I really didn't get that filled up yet. I got a lot of stuff to put in it. So that is ready to go. I just have to get time to get back and start.
Well, you know, if you need a second box, you know where to get it. You know, I can make it.
Another Gettysburg still coming
I can make a trip to New York. You know, drive up.
I'm here, so maybe we'll have to figure out cheer competition close to Virginia.
Yeah, right.
And hook up. Over to the far right, you see some of the knockoff G.I. Joe guys. They're like the Warriors of the World. I have some Civil War guys set up.
Yeah.
Nice trucks.
Formative guys, right?
Yep.
What's the plane right there? Is that Japanese Zero?
That is a Japanese Zero. My father.
Oh, it's a model. Wow.
talking about doing Iwo Jima. He said I could send Bill a plane or a tank, and I kind of like the plane myself. So I kind of kept the plane for myself. Don't let Bill know. But
Yeah, well, Bill usually watches the show, so he's gonna be in trouble with me.
we might have to edit that part out.
Is the TIE Fighter 112? 112 scale?
Yeah, that 1/6 scale figures. Yeah, the 1/12 scale figures.
Jeez.
Yeah. That was a huge
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like GameStop had that in the clearance section. Must have been in their display.
Oh, nice.
Clearance out, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, and he knew I was a Star Wars guy. He's like, hey, it's the only one we got. It's the clearance and it's display. So if you really want it, you might want to take it with you.
Nice. Cool.
Well, you got some 1/6 guys watching right now. Joe's digging the 1/6 scale stuff, so you can.
I had it one time. I had the 1/6 scale Naboo fighter that was on a Toys R Us display. Had that for a while.
Yeah, and over here, I have some more stuff. You can see there's a G.I. Joe State Trooper repair.
Hey, I got that.
Yep.
It kind of reminded me of the sheriff's department where I retired from. So.
Oh, okay.
Coyote Crossing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
Your scales are all over the place.
It's lovely.
They are. I kind of way out.
Got some Nerf guns in there too. Look at that.
Whoa! Go back up on your shelf there. What's the guys in the white there on the row? You got 4 of them in a row. What are those?
Oh, the Russian Mulan from.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. So yeah. Army Supplies came out with some really nice stuff. It's like, and like your one video said, they go different varieties and different cultures.
And here's the armor.
You can have the box.
Very nice.
Yeah.
These are all my 1/32 scale vehicles. My father painted this tank and this tank and this tank. I tried to do a paint job on that one. It's just a Battle of the Bulge thing. I ended up buying the BMC Battle of Bulge set, which is incredible. I think that was probably the greatest set BMC has recently done. That has everything you'd want in a box set. So I took it upon myself to try to paint the driver. I think it came out decent.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, very nice.
You know, this is another one of Josh's 3D printed the studs.
Oh, nice.
Wait, who prints that again?
Josh Wartliff. He's friends with Bill Mala.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Bill
Okay.
talks about. Yep. So and he also 3D printed the motorcycle guys. So that's one good perk about my girls. They like Gettysburg a lot with me. So the first time I went to one of the Toy Soldier shows, my oldest daughter and her boyfriend went down with me. We met Josh. My youngest. We had to go meeting Bill and getting some stuff and talking to Bill. Bill gave me another Guns and Navarone set he had. So I brought that home. Last year, my youngest fridge was down. Josh, after I got the arm out. So good that my girls like to go down there with me.
We're losing your voice when you don't look at the camera, I think, is what's happening, man. So
I kind of backed away.
There you go. Now you're clear.
Yeah. Well, I think my friends say.
Before you go much further, how big is your man cave there? I mean, square footage wise, would you say?
Not as big as you think it is.
Okay.
It's pretty packed solid. Probably. What do you think, Bryn? Maybe 8x14, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bryn, does he live down there? Does your mother kick him out and send him to his room, or how's that work?
He spends a good amount of his free time down here, and then she's got her laundry on the other side, so they just swap paths.
So here's more of my one Star Wars guys. Like I said, I have a big Star Wars collection. Some wrestlers.
I think it's kind of cool. You're all over the place, but it's
awesome.
Organized chaos kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is organized chaos. My wife is like, "Is anything organized?" I'm like, "Yes, it's got different things."
You know exactly where everything is.
Yep.
There's the G.I. Joe Yeti world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeti. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. So that's pretty impressive with that. I thought that was pretty cool right away.
Is that the Marvel snow? Is it a snow giant? The blue guy?
Yes,
Frost
Frost
Giant.
Giant.
I have one of those. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have the headpiece for him though.
Hey, I'm into the X-Men Sentinel over there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And a Gamorrean guard. Yeah. Cool.
It's huge. Yeah.
I got some Civil War paintings and artwork. That was more or less through my father. My father, like I said, is a huge collector of Civil War stuff. And
So can I ask how old Dad is?
Dad is 93.
93. Still painting models.
And he is still painting models. I said he built the last Japanese tank for his Iwo Jima. And then we are talking about going to Gettysburg in the end of June, because when the Heritage Gun Show was weekend at the Eisenhower. I started collecting the Britain Detail guys.
Dude.
I got them. And this is a proof of I only get these guys at Gettysburg. So this is proof of how many times I've been to
Those are
Gettysburg.
super detailed.
2 or 3 times. So if you see Larry from the Historian, he knows if I walk in the store, I'm walking out with some Britain super detail guys. On the way
So what do you got? Antietam?
These are no, it's just kind of it's Antietam Bridge yet. I think it's the March Antietam Bridge. Or March recast, yep. And the BMC houses. Right when he did the house. Yeah, I think they're called Americanas now. But my 3 major Marks guys, I got the Wyatt Earp reprint. Chuck Connor's a rifleman. This is a Mark.
That's original though, right?
Oh wow.
Yep,
We know about that.
And then I need my glasses. These from Wagon Train. I can't think of it. It always slips me.
It's not who was in Wagon Train? What was Ward Bond in Wagon Train?
Flint McClintock.
Yeah.
Is it Wagon Train or Laramie?
I have to look it up.
Yeah. And then I did some as a Plastic General set, I did some head swapping. So I got my 3 African hunters there. I painted them up.
Cool.
So I thought that was pretty. And then I ended up making a Airfix guy with a rifle short to make the sniper standing.
Do you do much conversions? Do you
Yes. If I have I don't want to ruin an original thing first, but if I have numerous extras, I will tamper and cut things up.
I'm the same way. If it's vintage, I can't. I have a hard time.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin, especially a one set thing. But if I have a few extras, so I would not mind jumping in there. I did a lot of done some BMC sets I got. So here's one of the more Star Wars guys and books.
Hey, you just highlighted something from Warhorse Miniatures, and he's in the chat room right now. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you look over here, it's Warhorse. He was great. I ended up buying the Betty Boop figure from him this year because my mother's name was Elizabeth. We always called her Betty. And I saw that Betty Boop figure. I'm like, that is my mother. He's like, you have to have it. And he is a great guy. He was very polite, very personal. I talked to him a few times there. Like I said, I look forward to seeing him at the show when I go.
He has assured me he will be on the show in December when he retires. So I'm holding him to that.
So as you see here, I made up a little mock battle of New Orleans. You got a mixture of the armies in plastic with some Temple bagpipers here with the Airfix Highlanders, Air Force Commander.
What's underneath that? Is it just a cloth or is that paper?
This is a
really?
I got, really.
It looks good. It looks good. It's hard to tell.
It's perfect for that kind of stuff. Yeah. Then you have the Barzos.
Yep. The barricade.
Yeah.
And then you have the LOD guys, and I painted up Andrew Jackson.
There you go.
Sean Lafitte. I thought they came out pretty good.
Your paint job's good.
Yeah, not pretty good. They're probably my better ones. So, like I said, you got the tower up there. You got the BMC cannons that these reissued, which is pretty nice for stuff like this.
They're perfect for that stuff. I see a Conte playset box back there.
Yes, that was one of the purchases I just got. I remember I talked to you about that day. That it's one of the purchases I just recently got, and it's mint. Everything's inside is mint. All the figures are still in the packages.
So which section of the wall is that?
This is the part where the readout is. Here's the certificate. There's the
So
readout
you got
part.
the right section, I think.
The one with the covered the bunker? Yeah,
The bunker thing, yes.
that's the one I have as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it took me
So,
forever to find all three of those, man.
And like I saw, and he was asking a pretty good price, and we talked a little bit more. And my father-in-law was with me, and we talked more about it. And they got the resin figures still in the boxes.
Yeah.
They're both there. Soldiers still in the bag. They're still sealed in the bags. You got the Marks accessories with it. So, and like I said, I saw you, and you're like, yeah, I got those. Yeah, get it. And I pulled the trigger and got it, and I ended up running to Walt from the Chuckleheads a few minutes later, and Walt's like, that was a great set because I was really thinking about.
Yeah, no, that's a nice set.
I was very happy with the purchase. I felt good walking out.
I said it took me forever to find all three sections, but I finally got them. Nice.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. So that's another good thing. Then I have some Britain generals of the Civil War. I try to get the ones from Gettysburg.
Nice. You get a lot of Star Wars sprinkled in there too, man.
Yeah, Star Wars. I got the 2 G.I. Joes up there. Or what's the G.I. Joe one's Ultimate Soldier? Patton, which is like one of my favorite characters there. And then the Ultimate Soldier, British Paratrooper still in box.
Hey, Rick, what do you think about a Star Wars Wednesday show now? No? Can you give me 3 nights in a row, Rick?
There's like more Star Wars guys.
I think John is your guy for Wednesday nights.
Yeah. And then my other purchase from LOD before I went to Gettysburg was the corner section from Fort Ticonderoga. So I kind of made up a little diorama here.
So Joe wants to know, is it the Siege of Petersburg that set? And it's pretty much the.
It's just kind of put together, really. You got the British troops. Oops. Yep. That's when the cannon shot. Took them all out.
That's
And then you got some. So I got the corner section from LOD before I went to Gettysburg, which I was very happy with trying to get. And then I got the Brax Defeat Rocks, which I wanted for years. I thought that was one of those things I had to have. That is like on my.
That was the last of the Mohican set.
I got it. So.
No, that's
Braddock's Defeat.
But I do have the last Mohican figures out here from LOD. I have Magua right there, and you got Chinechku and Uncas, Hawkeye, Duncan Hayward here in the front, and you got Cora, and Cora and the other one. You got Major Picton there from your
Defeat.
It was from
Lexington Green.
I think he was
Lexington Green.
Yeah, Lexington Green side. Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I thought it came out pretty good. I got some of my other buildings behind in the background. With more next 2 shelves of Star Wars guys. Of course.
Nice. Not to get off track, but favorite Star Wars movie?
I was probably the original, the first one.
The very first one?
The first one.
So 4.
Very first one. New Hope, yep. New Hope. My second favorite one, I'd probably go with Rogue One.
Yep.
I think just like the action through it with the Commandos and the Rebels.
Are you a Lucasfilm Disney fan or Disney Star Wars fan?
I am a Lucas guy. Disney, I'm not very fond with the way Disney handled it lately. So,
did you like Mandalorian?
That's a correct answer.
The Mandalorian is a one show that I think they're still doing well. They tried to put their claws in it the best they could. They got rid of Gina Carrero, which was heartbreaking because she was a great character. Yep. But I think their changes are coming and things are going to start changing and go back the way it should be. I mean, I shouldn't sound. Yeah. You can see my Mando guy right there on the wall.
This is the way.
This is the way, yeah.
I have spoken.
And then I got my other, my new addition thanks to Paul. Very.
And I have
good.
3 of those left, and you too can be an owner of Battle of Gettysburg.
This is great. Like I said, it's got a lot of
Go
space
ahead
and
and
stuff
show.
inside.
Yeah.
You know. I painted up some of the figures. I put a gloss on them.
Oh wow, yeah,
Make them
dude,
kinda
that's turned
shiny.
out nice. And you say you don't paint
So-
figures? Look at that,
That's
man.
I try to make them simple. You know, I don't want to go too much detail. And then for some of the reds, I did a darker
Did you paint the
wash on them.
Asperia figures, the 2 snipers?
No, I don't want to ruin them.
Which mountain
You
piece
know,
did you
and-
pick? I can't remember which one you. Oh yeah, that looks
Yeah.
like Devil's Den, man. Yeah.
That's what I said. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, that's more of the Devil's
Yeah.
Den set right there. That's perfect to go with it. So, you think put the Union guy right there on
Yep.
top, and there you go. You're looking right at the original. You think I was there?
Plus those flags that guy made was awesome, man. Those
They're very nice. Yeah, my father-in-law comments on those
Yeah.
all the time while they came out. All right, now we're more else into the.
Wow.
Okay, this
Star Wars
room's bigger
area.
than 8x14. I'm just gonna let you know.
This is like the back work
Okay.
area. This is that's the man cave area. This is like the work area, which no longer has tools and anything else. So my woodworking skills came down to Star Wars figures.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
but
Bryn-
I see some Star Trek in there.
Another question for your daughter.
There's some Star Trek. Yeah. Harry Potter.
Another question
Yeah.
for your daughter. Does Dad ever dust these?
Oh,
Not usually. I've never seen
Okay.
that part.
I'm just checking.
look, there's been some dusting. Yes, that's a lot of dusting. That'd be full time
There you
help right
go.
there. I thought the cobwebs wouldn't show up on the internet. So you see the GI
Yep.
Joe
Oh, yeah.
guys. I'm very.
Yeah, you were all in on those guys. That's what you.
Yeah. Like I said, I was a little bit younger when the original GI Joe came out, and my parents both had 2 jobs, and GI Joes were not really in their budget for me. I was really lucky and blessed to get the Apache Pass and the Guns of Navarone set. That was like my
So you were catching kind of the end of the
Major
Marx
deal.
era and the beginning of the Star Wars era.
yeah. So
But I mean, you still probably had the Sears Wish book like the rest of us, right?
yes. We talk about that all the time. I think we had like the very last one. Like one of my oldest daughter was born. Of J.C. Penney's came out with one. I was like, "Oh, hold on to that because I think that's a
Yeah.
done era."
Yeah.
I did get one to the Conte Spartans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never talked about that. So, like I said, I did paint up some BMC houses.
I
did
like
a
that,
red
man.
set.
That's cool. What
Yeah.
spray painted or what? You just
No, it's hand painted all of them. I try to fill in the gaps with the putty.
Yeah.
Fix it. I did like a bluer
you
one.
glue them together or you just Yeah.
Yep, they're glued together. So
Yeah.
you want to. I did a bluer one and a browner one. A browner. That's a really proper English.
there you go. No, they
So-
turned out nice, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you got-
Dunker
yeah.
Church back there
And
behind
you
it.
actually kept the Dunker Church together. I can't believe it, man. That thing's hard to put
Yeah.
together.
It takes up space. And this is more or less just the Misfit stuff I'm working on.
Yeah.
I
The farmhouse.
I kind of painted that up and destroyed it a little bit more.
So
You
when
know?
you do those, you glue them together though. You keep them permanent.
They're glued solid. I did another one.
Oh yeah. See, it looks like a totally
So-
different house when you do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah, well, I got that from Bill because Bill did the Arnheim. Arnheim. And he had like 4 or 5 houses put together. And this is just corner piece from that. So it kind of makes like 2
Yeah, the
houses.
leftover
right there.
piece. Sure. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So
Murray Corrigan said you had a Humvee in the background somewhere. Where's that at? I didn't see it.
I did see a Humvee
Is it
somewhere.
a 1/6 scale? Is that why you saw it, or is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all right there. They're all from the.
That's not one.
Some are from GI Joe, and some are from Warriors of the World. Here's the Jeep of the Warriors of the World guy in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And you got a bunch of 12-inch Joes down there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep. I forgot about those. Holy, that's tomorrow's stuff.
They're behind those buildings. Get those buildings out of the way. No, I'm kidding. There you go.
I got another question for your daughter. So,
Yeah.
So, honestly, does Dad play with these, or did you just set them on the shelf and just stare at them and look at them?
Oh, he does. You'll see him playing.
He makes the
them
pew
too.
pew sounds and all that stuff.
Oh,
okay.
of course.
That's those Star Wars guys. You gotta have the M42 machine gun sound.
Man, look at that. Dude.
So yeah, Larry from the story ran out of single figures, so he's been getting me to buy the mounted guys lately. So you can see he's got a very good.
Those are all Britons, yeah. The detail.
Yep, the super detail.
Wow.
Yep. Some are from the older generation. You get the lighter green base, and some are the darker.
John Salatella. So you amazed yet, or no? You still kind of.
I'm just taking it all in.
Taking it all in. I know you're more of a World War II guy, so some of this stuff probably isn't like.
No, I have a lot of that stuff as well, and
okay.
And the Star Wars, especially the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to paint up some of the. It's a BMC and it's an Airfix guy to kind of match the super detail guy. I mean, they're not as good, but
dude, it's still. I mean, that's
they look good.
Do you put a gloss on yours? All yours?
Those guys I put the gloss on, and most of them I try to use a darker stain over. Like the Confederate soldiers, I did the stain over because I have no idea why. I just spur of the moment.
Well, Bill Nolano did that too.
I'm like, Bill uses a gloss for a lot of his stuff because he wants them to look like the. Yeah. I got my marks.
You got to read Paul's question.
Paul
Barbacano. The last one just came in.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well,
I don't know, Brent. Can you read that or no?
Can you read it, Brent?
I don't
put
see
it on
any
the screen.
comments.
Okay. You have a question from somebody in the chat room. Are you mad that he could have bought you a house with all the stuff that he
has?
Yeah, I think my house could have been paid off.
That's one thing I did take care of. Our mortgage is paid off. I've worked my years for
Joe Baker had the same question I did. How'd you get that Dunker church to stay together, man? Because I got one, I can't. For the life of me, man, I got to cut it up or something.
Well, as you can see, it's back in the far corner of the tool bench, so it hasn't been moved for a while. So,
but you said you glued it all together, though, right?
Yeah.
I glue all the headquarters together. I don't know if the Dunker church is actually glued together. I can try and pick it up and check.
Oh boy!
If it falls apart, we know who the blank.
Here we go. Very Don't fall apart. Don't fall apart. Don't fall apart.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, there goes another one.
That is generally headquarters back. But yeah, no, it's still pretty solid.
Right. So you didn't glue that one.
Look at that. Oh, it's not glued together. You see the rough.
Man, mine's kind of warped, and those tags never lined up, and
yeah. So yeah, it came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And it's like,
and there it goes.
The figures with colors. You know, it's like when Accurate did the British, they were tan. You know. So when they did the recast in red, you know, I had to get as nice as I could.
Those are Airfix?
No, they're
accurate. Yeah. Paul B wants to know, is that a Hoth base?
Yes, behind me was, yes.
And Jeff from Skunk Works wants to know, is that a Kenner Falcon?
Where are we?
Behind you?
There was one before. Yeah, I saw it as well.
Is that Is it a
There is
vintage one, or is
here.
that a new?
I thought. Oh no,
That is the micro machine.
That's a micro
original
machine.
micro machine set.
Okay.
There was a big one, right?
There's a big one. Right? Oh, that is my original Millennium Falcon from when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Down there. You can tell the plastic starting to turn.
That was
blue.
one of my questions I was going to ask you. How
Yeah.
much of your stuff from when you were a kid do you still have?
I was very meticulous about the Airfix figures growing up. I want to keep them all in boxes, but as you get older, the boxes don't last. You know, and my cousins remember that coming down because we'd have our little wars and we'd line up all the guys and use a little crayon and knock them down. And I always made sure to put the right guys in the right boxes. But the boxes didn't hold up, so most of my Airfix guys are in a tote. I have quite a bit from when I was a kid. My parents held on to a lot of it for me. They kept it when I was in college and stuff like that for me, so I got lucky. But a lot of that stuff didn't hold up very well.
Yeah.
You know.
What is the skull? Straight ahead. What's the skull in the background, man?
That is from Peter Pan. That's from Disney.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Peter Pan treasure. It's a bank. Yep. And then Pirates of the Caribbean.
I noticed that one.
Awesome. Yep. G.I. Joe Jeep back there in the dust. Yeah. I probably should have dusted for you guys. I'm sorry.
we can't see the dust.
Don't let it happen again.
But you do have some people that are in the chat room that have OCD that are freaking out right now. So.
Sorry. After she gets done videotaping, I'll hire her to dust. I'll be.
That's the Mustafar Mountain. I'm assuming in the back.
Yes. Yep. With glass and gargoyles on it. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, you do have a little bit of everything, man, which is cool, man.
Is this the only room you have, or do you have some like storage unit?
This is the only room. My wife banished me to the basement. This is all I get. So.
Which is not a bad place to hang out with all that stuff, you know.
No, yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty happy to have the TV down here, so we're good. You know, direct TV comes in down.
Wave 1 ATST.
Yep.
Murray Corrigan wants to know: are your parents responsible for your collecting? I guess your dad.
My father
right?
is definitely. My dad is definitely. My dad is a huge Civil War guy, and he has a very big collection. We've just been talking about that recently. Yeah, my father has a very extravagant collection of stuff between paintings and other stuff, medals and canning shells and bronze statues. So yeah, he's a very big meticulous. And that's what kind of lured me into
but
this.
he's not a toy guy though, like you, right? He's more.
He is not a toy guy. The only thing he does is the models. And that's just to occupy his time to keep him at 93. You know, the dog and the models keep him going,
you got people in the chat room wanting to come and volunteer to sort things out for you there.
I think it's pretty well organized, don't you think?
It's that organized chaos. You know where everything's at, right?
I don't feel so bad about my pile of stuff.
Now, what's
John,
on
I
that
don't
wall
know if
to
you
your
want
left?
more, man. You got some time left if you want. It's totally up to you. Well, hey,
Yeah, what's on that right in front of you? What's on that wall there? I'm pointing like you can see me. There. Yeah, what do you got?
This is a random select. I got Kevin Green from the Steelers, who I really like. Terry Bradshaw from the Steelers. He was Dale Earnhardt, Kamala the Giant.
Oh, yeah, Kamala. I saw him wrestle live one time.
Yeah. Some carded Star Wars guys, some carded Star Trek
So
guys.
are you you look more like an open box kind of guy, not a...
I am an open box kind of guy. Some things I just kind of kept sealed. I told my girls when they get married, we will get rid of some of the sealed stuff for them. That's the perk.
You hear that, Bren? We got it on video now. He actually said it. So
it's official. Yeah, my oldest keeps calling it out to me.
Yep.
You know, my wife's comment is, "Now, what's going to happen when you die? What am I going to do with all this stuff?" And my response back was,
"Yeah, do whatever you want." Hey, I have 2 daughters too, and they want nothing to do with my collection. So I feel you, bro.
Yeah. So we do have
what's with the flag in the background?
You know.
That's I know, but I know what flag it is, but what are you doing with it?
Remember the Alamo.
Well, when we first bought the house before children, this was like a bar setup. Like you see, the bar has been converted over with stuff. We had the light brown paneling all the way around, and we had all Texas stuff around here. And then we were hit with a flood within the first 10 years we were living here. So we had to take all the paneling down and all their stuff. So as we took all the paneling out and threw it up during the flood, I kind of lost the ambiance of being a thing. Our friend from San Antonio who gave us the flag, and we had an original cow head horns. That was pretty cool. We had, yeah. So between the children and the flood, it got reconverted over to no longer Texas and a bar area. Now it's Dad's area.
Hey, you got another question from the chat room from Eric Percy, who I'm trying to get on our show. He's a awesome painter, by the way. He says, "What are your thoughts on the Britain's super detail artillery that came out not that long ago?"
I got a handful of them. Matter of fact, there's one right here.
So, what are your thoughts on those, man?
I like them. I think they're pretty accurate. I like them a lot. Is he not?
I don't know. He just wanted to know what you thought of them.
Yeah, I like them a lot. They go good with the figures, and each set is. It'd be cool if they get the different molds for the Confederates and Union, but I think this is the way they come out.
Yeah,
the 3 guns itself. So,
are you a Dolphins fan or a Steelers fan?
I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
Gotcha.
So, in case you couldn't tell, I am a Miami Dolphins fan, but I do have those 2 Steeler guys because growing up.
John, just so you know, I'm a New England Patriots fan.
I'm sorry.
Now, John, I noticed with your whole man cave, you don't have like one big 4x6 or 4x8 table where you set up a big play set, do you? Or do you convert your room? What do you do when you set up something big?
I just use the coffee. Well, for the room, I have the coffee table behind me for the fort. That is the folding card table we used.
Okay.
Right there. And then to the left of me is some the sheet of the foam board over totes with a blanket over.
So, I mean, if you had something really big with like a couple hundred soldiers, I guess you really couldn't put it up there, huh?
I would be using the coffee table as my primary, or else I'd be moving somewhere else, or else on the floor.
Yeah.
But like you said, and there's the Indiana Jones temple.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The bunker.
Very nice.
Like I said, when I was doing the African safari guys, I ended up getting zoo go with it. I was able to get some of the zoos from Armies and Plastic when they still had them, so I was very happy with that. So I could do a zoo setup if I wanted to. It's like I said, I was going through Bill's games, and it's good to set up. Like you said, you use the rules and directions to set up a scenario with your figures and kind of play it yourself.
I was just going to ask you, are you a war gamer or are you just more of diorama setting up?
I am more diorama guy. There's really nobody near that war games up here that I know of. And like I said, I'm so tied up with my kids doing things and trips and competitions that I really don't have the free time. I did tell Bill that when I do get free time, I'd be more than willing to come down and join him in the Chuckleheads at the secret location or be at one of those bigger events that he's at to see him and check that out. But my time is limited, and
gotcha.
So,
Dan,
but yeah, I'd be more.
Dan, you're awful quiet tonight. You okay, buddy? Or
I'm just loving this. I'm soaking it all in.
The medication kick in earlier tonight, or what?
Murray's not here.
That's what it is.
I'm soaking it all in. It's just amazing the amount of stuff you have, and I can appreciate everything you've got there. I mean, I'm too busy looking at all the shelves and trying to figure things out, and see, I've got a benefit. I don't know if you guys. I'm looking at a giant screen, so I don't know how big the screen is you guys looking at, but I got a big screen in front of me, so that's why people watching my heads go like this. Because I'm watching. I can see everything, and this is awesome.
I always rewatch the show after on my TV to see how it looks. But yeah, I'm on a small computer right here, so I can't really see everything. John Salatellis, any questions for our guest?
Wow. No, that's not a question. That's a comment. Wow. It's a statement.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Rick, anything?
How do you hunt down your classified figures, John? Like, do you shop around or do online stuff?
Yeah. No, I more or less shop around and just try to keep my eyes open. GameStop is one good stop. Target usually gets some. I have a friend at Walmart that sometimes gives me a holler when he sees something new come out. He's also action figure guy, but he's more of the Avengers and those kind of guys. He's more of a Marvel guy. But when he does see something that I might be interested in, he gives me a quick text and says, "Hey, we got something new if you're interested." So,
couple questions I ask all my guests before I let you go, John. Okay.
Sure.
Any holy grails that you're still looking for?
Truthfully, if we talk to the guy from LOD again, I would love the Bushy Run Hill readout. That is something that I've always wanted. Like I said, I never could afford the Barzo stuff when it came out. And that readout with the hill and the sandbags is something I was always looking forward to get, and that's something I'd really like a lot.
Where do you think the 1/32 scale is going to be in the next 10 years?
I think it's going to keep going because you see these guys are doing bolt action now and other games, and as they get older, they'll have the same issues like us, that you'll need the bigger figures because your eyes are not as good as they used to be.
You're go ahead.
It's just through age you kind of convert to the 1/32 scale more and more because it's easier for us. It's
definitely.
Yeah, you got to get these things like the readers I have that they have the magnification on the bottom is 3.5. That's what I have. Or that's why I can, like, when I painted these guys, I paint the face on them, and get in there and paint the eyes and all that stuff. So I still paint and do all the, and I'm just at this point now I got to dig out my 54 millimeter stuff and start painting that. Yeah.
Your thoughts on 3D printing?
Some of the things like the Toy Soldier Central guys stuff look amazing. I mean, I've not got to touch them yet or hold them yet. I did see them at your table, and kind of feel bad I walked away without getting some. But the harder, I'm glad they're a softer plastic, so they don't break. You don't have to worry about it being fragile as you do with the LOD guys. So, but yeah, and like I said, them up great sets, and that's really impressive. And
give us one good childhood memory dealing with your toys. Doesn't have to be toy soldiers. Could be your favorite Christmas, birthday, playing with the neighbor kids, something like that.
Well, one came in mind again just recently. When I was a kid, my parents got for me the Airfix Bunker 1/72 scale with the cannon and the British Commandos and the Germans. And I got that for Easter Sunday, and I was overwhelmed. I'm like, that was so cool. I thought that was so neat. And then, you open your Easter basket and you eat your candy, and right away they're dressing you up and shooting you off to church. And I must have sat there that whole hour and 15 minutes during Mass thinking of how I'm going to storm the bunker and take out. And I just keeps flashing back to me. The box was amazing with the picture on.
Box art, man. That was great back then, man.
Yeah. And that was just great. And that stays in my mind. That and, like the Apache Pass set as a kid. I mean, I remember playing with that for hours. I also remember Marks came out with the lure boxes, kind of like cereal boxes. And I remember buying those for the first time with my own money. I got the blue and gray set and the Pacific one with the Marines and the Japanese. So those are pretty impressive.
Could I say that was also your favorite toy as a kid growing up, or no? Do you have something else?
So I got older to the Star Wars stuff came out, but yeah. We used to play in the backyard. Me and my neighbor would put the figures out in the backyards and build little trenches and stuff like that, and use a rock to knock them all down and have our little wars. And, this is my general. You can't kill him. Oh, I kill my general. I gotta get a new guy to be my general. And my cameraman's chuckling because that's what she was known for. Where's your general? This guy's my general. She knocks him down. I'm like, okay, new general guy.
Well, guys, what do you think, man?
It's just awesome.
Yeah,
it really is.
Tell you what, man. John, I really appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you very much for having me. Like I said, I look forward to seeing you guys again. So,
Make sure you pay your camera person, okay?
So get her due diligence, yes.
Yeah, good job and brilliant collection, John.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Don't forget, next week, we're going to have Jeff Shear on Monday for our G.I. Joe show. And I'm not sure who I got Tuesday yet, but I will have somebody for TST, Tour Soldier Tuesday. So tune in next week, 8 o'clock, Monday and Tuesday. Once again, John, I want to thank you for your time. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. Guys in the panel, I will see most of you hopefully next week. Yes?
Yep. Going to a trade show this weekend, so see what I can find.
All right, man.
There's a lot of stuff that people. I don't know what is here. You can have it for $5. Hopefully, it's a Conte piece. That's what I'm going for. We'll see.
Take some pictures and show them next week, man.
So. Absolutely, I will.
All right, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Great week, everybody.